Hello, hello, and good evening. Welcome to our weekly program, Beacon of Hope. Yes, it's our weekly program. I know it's usually on a Friday, but a change is as good as a rest. So today we have our show on a Thursday. It's your usual program, Beacon of Hope, where we enlighten people on different aspects of our life. It could be our health, education, matters investments, matters diaspora, matters voting, politics, all these issues. If you want anything handled, it's in the right place. And so here we are on a Thursday evening, depending on where you are, on a Thursday morning, on a Thursday night. We are here waiting to be enlightened. Yes, I bring this show and I always bring the right characters, the right guys to come and enlighten us in different matters pertaining our living, pertaining our everyday life. And just to give you an opportunity to share and invite people, let me bring this advert. At Beacon of Hope, we hold discussions every week. I want our people to be empowered. I want our people to be enriched. And we talk to the young at heart, and our topics rotate around young people, finances.
We buy when the market is low, and we sell when the market is high. Simple.
Growing up in the diaspora.
As much as I am grateful the way that my parents raised me, my Shoshogoka's generation raised me, there are certain things I won't carry with me.
Politics, leadership, career, parenting, all sorts of discussions.
And I remember 2010 when you were standing, I was standing. You were standing on in Palawater.
If you want to invest, you invest in a developing area, not a developed area.
House prices right now, for example, I'll use that as an example, has now overtaken the amount that a normal person who's a normal worker, let's say 132K, can now afford.
Join me, your host, Councillor Dr. Elizabeth BK, from my living room to yours, on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, name it. Just join us, we'll be there, and you'll not miss out a topic that suits you. And each one of us has always got something to share. And Beacon of Hope is always here for you. We are open to all sorts of discussions. As long as we are motivating, we are inspiring, we are teaching, all these discussions are there. And we'll be ready. Yes, hello, and once again, welcome to our show. Welcome to our weekly program, Beacon of Hope. And as I said in my intro, our weekly Beacon of Hope brings us different topics pertaining our everyday life. Sometimes we have programs, we're talking about our health. So I'll bring a health specialist to come and talk to us about the different aspects of our health. Sometimes I will bring an educationist, anything to do with academia in terms of performance, going back to uni, careers advice, all these. We could have an opportunity to come and discuss. Sometimes I'll bring a politician because obviously this is also part of us. And we need to be enlightened so that we are not living in a confused world. Sometimes I'll bring people who are in the who are entrepreneurs. Sometimes I'll bring people in the business world, all these aspects, and they are very, very, very important. So tonight, or this morning, or this evening, I've said this program reaches out to so many different people. I've got people right now joining from America. I've got people joining from the Arab Emirates. I've got people joining from Africa, specifically Kenya. I've got people joining from where I am in Europe. So that's why I said good morning, good evening, good day, wherever you are. And tonight, we're looking at investments. And when I say investments, people always think, oh, there we are now, contributions and all that. It's very, very important in life. and particularly those people who come from the land of Hakuna Matata, or the area where I come from originally, we know that investments is so much part of us. We cannot do without it. We earn and we want to invest and reinvest. We have that. Our parents invested. We are investing. We are teaching our children also to invest. So this is a very, very important topic and a very dear and close to my heart, because I'm one who loves investments. I know, we are different. There are people who say, no, I'm just earning for me and me and me and me. All right, you're earning for me and me and me and me. There will come a time when you want to retire. Ama mnataka tupelekwe kwa hizi nyumba za kuku hapa. Sio mimi. I want a nice place where I can go and retire and enjoy the hot sunshine. And that is why tonight I've got a guest who's going to take us through. And I've hosted this guest in the past. But you know what? Public demand. People have been asking, what happened? We want to be enlightened. We have been investing. We want to invest more. We are happy with what we've done. You hosted that gentleman. We want him back. And so without much further ado, and can I urge you to continue inviting friends and family and sharing on your social media platforms? Yes, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm going to bring my guest tonight, who is known to some of us and obviously new to some others. Hello. Bwana CEO, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. It's nice to see you once again. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Great to see you, and especially from the other side of town.
Thank you. We still say Happy New Year as long as I've not seen you this year. It could be actually all the way in July, but it's still Happy New Year to, if I haven't seen you. So once again, it's good to have you on the show, and it's always a delight and an honor to host you here. And I would because I don't take this for granted, and I know there could be new viewers, there could be new people who are being invited. Can I give you an opportunity to briefly introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself for those of us who have met you before? Karibu sana.
Amazing. Thank you for having me. My name is Paminas Kariuki. Once again, I am humbled to be here. I'm the CEO and founder of Nyota Njema Real Estate. And this year is such a great year for us because we are in our 5th year of operation, but we thank God for we have been able to do so much within a very short span of time. And more so, I'm grateful to God because the last time we talked, I was planning to come to the UK. We didn't manage to do a follow-up interview, but here we are because at God's time, He makes everything beautiful. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to such great interaction tonight. Be ready to ask any question. I'll also be sharing some of the achievements we have made in the short while that we have been able to go through. And thank you, ma'am, for once again having me. And I say that it was nice seeing you in December.
I didn't want to go there. Absolutely wonderful to have you once again here on my show. And like I said, it's always an honor to host you. And I would like to say, yes, you already preempted. I was in Kenya in December, and I was so delighted to meet up with the CEO Nyota Njema Real Estate in his office and actually on the ground. Ground. So it was a delight. It was an honor. I was overjoyed to go and see for myself and actually touch the soil of where we have invested. And I know you are moving in leaps and bounds because, that December was the busiest for you. I was so excited to meet up with so many people. I was so excited. Every single day you are hiring minibuses to take people to go and see, and that tells you the level of trust, particularly we in diaspora have with Nyota Njema Real Estate. So I didn't want to start off by saying congratulations, but I will definitely. Congratulations. It was a real honor to be there with you and actually to be, right, I said, on the ground in Nanyuki, a beautiful place. Remember, I wish we brought that video. I did a beautiful video.
I'll try and get it.
because I just felt like that's where I belong, you know, on the slopes,
Yes.
and the weather is absolutely wonderful. So here we are, and as we speak, I can see people are joining. And I know it's a weekday for some of us. We are still office time, so I know people will be joining later, and that is why I tell people, when you join, kindly share, so that if somebody leaves work later, they can come and watch. Share with your friends and families. If it reaches one extra person, that's one too many. So we don't take anything for granted. So once again, Paminas,
Yes.
somebody says, once again, here in somebody says they're in Saudi. I'm so sorry, guys, I can't join the meeting. The people wanted me to join a meeting. We've lost an alumni, so I'm sorry about that. I was an alumni of St. Anne's Ryoki, and we lost a very young girl, you know, and I think they're this welfare team. I'm sorry, I'm diverting because they tried to get me. I'm always all over. So I can see even in Saudi, you were in Saudi the other day, and they are here in Saudi. Right. So, like I said, Paminas, you are doing so well. And we did say last time when I hosted you that one of the reasons why so many of us have got faith in what you are doing is you say and you deliver.
Yes.
People have bought land, people have bought property, people have invested years, 20 years, 15 years. They haven't yet seen what they paid for.
Sure.
Last year alone, you came to UK 3 times, delivering title deeds. And so that is why everybody, we usually travel in December, everybody wanted to make sure that they touch the ground. So, Paminas, would you like to take us through where we are now? You know, later you'll be talking about the new developments, but take it on now and let us know what you're doing with Nyota Njema Real Estate. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And once again, I'm humbled to be here, and I can see people are streaming live, and comments are coming live, right, left, and center. It has been a year of a lot of things happening, and I must be grateful to God because through that year, we were able to come to the UK twice. I came, first of all, I went to Dubai in the month of May, and thereafter, I came to in the month of March. And then in the month of June, I was able to come to the UK, where I visited more than 20 towns or 20 cities. And through that journey, God favored us. And at some point, I had to come back because there was a demand for a new project in Diani. Initially, we were only having Nanyuki, and then we had started Kitengera. But then we got a demand for Diani, and I had to come back and purchase some land for some ladies in Bristol. But when I came back, there was an unfortunate situation where one of the sons to my clients got stabbed, and my condolences to Irene and the family. And after that, the people in Luton decided to grab the whole land, so they took it off. And today we are almost finishing phase 2 of Diani that I had come with. Actually, I think we have less than 2 plots going on sale. That shows God has been gracious to us. The other thing that also we have been able to do, we were able to have some representative in the US. I didn't get to go to the US last year because of a few issues. And we had some representative from the US. I had one of the interns who was working with us in Nyota and has gone to further his studies in the US. So he became our representative in a Chabolist event that was happening in New Jersey, and which gave us quite a good traction. And I am happy to say now, by God's grace, we are having a good footing in the US. And I can see some of my customers here commenting. So I'm grateful to God. It has been an eventful year. And then later in the year 2023, I was able to go back to Dubai to hand over the titles for those who had invested early in the year. Then the year came to an end with a bang because all the summer bunnies were here. And you know yourselves. So we enjoyed ourselves together. And I was able to, I think the month of December, I didn't go for a holiday myself. Together with my team, we worked around the clock to make sure every client was able to go to site. We had so many Kenyans who came from diaspora. I was given also a privilege by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to be one of the speakers in the diaspora conference in the KICC. I actually joke and say I spoke the same day the president spoke. So we spoke in the morning and I spoke in the afternoon, meaning at least I was in his he saw my name in his program. That is on a right note. And through that, I was able to also get opportunities to meet with a few other Kenyans. I remember you guys came on 27th, a whole bus of 14 Kenyans from diaspora, and you made a lot of noise, enjoyed, and we had fun. I came back
and a lot of nyama choma.
Yes, and the nyama choma was in plenty until we had to add more. Anyway, that was a fun moment, and I'm grateful to God because through that all, we have been able to keep on our promise. Not that we are very perfect, but God has helped us to do what we promised to our customers. I'm also grateful to say in the first part of this year, I did a trip to Dubai in January, and again another one. I was able to do a trip to Saudi end of February and beginning of March. So I just came back last week from Saudi, and I can see some of the people that I met there are online. Hi guys from Riyadh, Jeddah, and Dammam, all those places I was able to crisscross. And by the way, I can say here without fear of contradiction, Saudi Arabia is a very beautiful country.
Wow.
And people there are happy, unlike what we see in the media. I know the ambassador could be watching because also we had a very good interaction with him. I am going to share the link so that he can also be able to listen to what we are sharing tonight. And I am sure he is a happy man because I promise I'll be back next month to hand over the titles of those who invested with us last month. And I'm sure I'll go back. So it has been an eventful month, eventful year, working around the clock. And as you can see, my eyes are always red nowadays. Not that I'm smoking weed, but because I'm doing the right thing to make the ends meet. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Guys, I'm giving you an opportunity to grab a cup of tea, coffee. He looks a bit sleepy. This is so exciting, really exciting. And like I said, definitely, this guy is going far. This guy is doing so well. We are so excited to have him on board. And you can hear, last year, I just looked at him and I just wondered how he managed. One time he's in London, then the next maybe 3-4 hours, he would take a train. He's in Scotland. He'll take a flight. He's in Jersey. Then he's in Northampton, and he was in great demand. Actually, he had to extend his ticket here. And the best part of it is that all of us, wherever he went, invested. And that is why actually people have been asking, hey, we want him back. Yes, I can see, I think you are moving back to Saudi. I can see that the whole lot here. They're all tuning in and they're saying, well done unto you. Like they say in our language, you cannot say this is my field. We all try and fight for our corner. And that is exactly what you are doing. And can I say, I'm really ever so proud and I am ever grateful to God that I engaged with Nyota Njema, because I remember what I did say before the first day we met you. What we said is that for me, being a public figure, I have to be very, very careful, extremely careful not to host anybody who's gonna come back and thinks you bite me. And I can now proudly say Nyota Njema is not one of those, because in Kenya people have been cheated, people have lost money, people are struggling. We have had lately, there are people who are in cell now, in jail, because of not delivering. Do they care? No. And so integrity is the most important thing. You'd rather deliver 10 title deeds and do it perfectly. And that is exactly what you're doing. And then God will bless the work of your hands, like we know. And that is exactly what is happening to you now. For these people to be tuning in and for me to sow what I sow in December, I was really, it was overwhelming. The number, I remember my team, we were meant to take your vehicle. We were meant to take your vehicle. You were about 7 of us. That morning, you could not cope. Everybody kept saying, I want to go and see my plot. So you had to look for a minibus, and we left all our vehicles there at the office because people really wanted to go. And I know that was not the only trip. So guys, somebody who is credible, somebody who, there's no no one can talk evil of. That is why I proudly host Pamina's here, and I have no regrets. Actually, even Bishop tells me before I host anything, my husband says, can you first of all do your due diligence? Because I don't want people messing up your name here, saying you are the one who tangazad. You know, we do it, we tangaza, but we have to be very careful when we advertise. We have to know what are we doing. So even Bishop had to make sure that he does his due diligence to make sure that his wife is not put under Monday or Monday waters. Yes. I can actually even see Bishop Vanessa, who is one of the investors from here. We should even be giving them opportunities to come and give the testimonials of what you have done. So once again, I'm saying all this to really congratulate you and say that we are really so proud of you, because ni kusema na kutenda, you are delivering, and that is what we want to hear. Now, what next? And when are you coming back? Because people want to see you, people want to know. And because, like I said, word of mouth, people, you just invest once, and if they're happy, if you deliver, if there's that integrity, they want to invest more, because we don't finish, we don't stop. So where are we next?
Before I go to where we are next, it's good I share where we are right now, because some things have happened, and by God's grace, due to public demand again, we realized that our branding was not so much conspicuous, so we decided to make it unique. And therefore, in the month of February, we started the rebranding journey. We have had a new logo and a new website. Initially, we had only a website which was .co.ke. Right now, we have a new website which is .com. If you allow me, I can just highlight that in a brief. I don't know whether I'll be able to share quickly, just for people to see what it is all about. I'll make it very brief so that people can see. It is indeed a new website, which is really attractive, and you can see it has even some features which were not there. Are you able to see my screen?
No. Could you try and share that again?
It is actually on.
Sorry. It's there. Sorry. Yes. Guys, bear with me. Technology. Do you want me to put it up?
Yes, please, because it's very important for people to see. So you can see this is a new website, totally new logo. We have a new logo which is now showing the NN Nyotanjema and a star on top there to indicate our logo is now new and has representation of the star. As you can see down here, we have very nice sliding pages. And then we are able to show you our performance, the titles we have dispersed in the last 4 years, the gifts we have been able to get in the last 3 years, to be specific. Then the combined years of experience together with my team, we have more than 28 now. We have been able to do more than 35 city tours across the world, whether virtual or physical. Then we are happy to have served more than 800 clients so far, and the diaspora clients have 75%. So as we speak, we have also done several community projects where we give back to the society, and we have done more than 25 projects which are closed. Some are small, we don't usually mention them. And by God's grace, you can see the new website is capturing a lot of things. What I should put to your close is Kenyans, when I'm in diaspora, they ask me, how do you convert the amount? We made the website such that when you come here and click on where my cursor is, if you click down, it shows you the prices. You can convert instantly on the prevailing rate of exchange across all the currencies shown there. So for instance, you are in the UK, you can be able to change to all the currencies of our project to read in Great Britain pound. I think this is new. This has never happened to any other website in the real estate sector. And if you have any, you can let me know any that is doing that. So when you come down, I go to the properties and I show you the prices. They should be reading in the US, they should be reading in what we call the GP, the Great Britain pounds. I don't know whether it's functioning. Let me just check quickly, but I know it was working because I checked it earlier, unless my internet is not working. But again, I can also change. Like for instance, I have seen there are people in Saudi. You see Saudi, they get their pay on Riyal. So when you go to Riyal, you are able to, when you go to the website and change to SAR, you are able to see the prices in your local currency, so that you are able to know how much you are going to pay with the money you're earning. how much it is going to cost you, because sometimes people don't know how to exchange the money. So as we speak, I'm trying to see whether I can get that. Yes, I'm back. And when I go down here, you'll be able to see this is a reading in Kenya shillings. So let me see if I'm able to change it now from Kenya shillings to SAR. SAR is Saudi Arabian riyal. So when I go down, it should have changed. It has not changed, but I don't know what's happening. But it should be changing whatever you
It's
change.
saying the process is slow. I think you have a problem with the Wi-Fi. It's a bit slow. It's saying it's
Yes.
yeah.
That could be the reason I'm not able to get it, because it should be instant. And maybe the systems, we are integrated it with the global system of conversions, so that you're able to convert on the click of a button. So anyway, that's one of the things that we have been able to achieve, having to rebrand. Yeah, I can see the process is slow, as you said, it's not loading. But then we have also made sure that you can be able to interact with our information more friendly and more articulately, because we believe in keeping our work so efficient. We have testimonials here. Those who have been asking, what have we done? At least you can be able to see the testimonials. And every time we refresh, you get a new testimonial, because we have more than hundreds of testimonials from our customers. So let me stop sharing that. That was just indicating what we are doing.
But that is exciting. I think we might have to come back to that and get some queries. And I love that technology. This is really good. Wow.
Thank you. I will check with my internet so that I'm sure before I share again. But I think my internet is not working out, so I'll check on that one anyway.
That's okay. I actually even have a few people. Bishop Vanessa is saying, and she's saying she's here. She says we are looking forward to see you in UK, where many who had doubted him will see the reality. And actually, I've read earlier on, she says she's she's one of the few people who doubted you. And yeah, she says, I'm reading, I'm not making it up. She says, personally, I doubted him and I told him on the face, but my perception changed completely. Yes, guys, it's always good to read all this. I can see somebody who has written in Arab. I think, I'm assuming, so I can't read the name. It says, we have seen a true testimony here in Saudi Arabia. We are patiently waiting for our title deeds to be delivered to us. I can't believe buying land could be this easy. And Regit, waiting for you again. Wow, in Riyadh. Well done. I'm sorry, I just could not read that name because it's written in... Morning, Francis says, good evening. And I can see so many testimonies here of people. I can see somebody called Gary, Hamston Gary, excited to learn about the opportunities and Nyotanjema Real Estate. Hats off, Mr. Paminas. I mean, for me, because I know I was the first person to really host you in the UK. And actually, when you first ventured, I wouldn't say in the UK, it's when you first started going out. And for some reason, we never doubted you. When we were introduced to you, I remember we met you with my husband, Bishop BK, and the first thing he said, he laid his hands on you and prayed for you and wished you well. So I never doubted you. However, I always have some reservations because, like I said, being a public figure, you have to defend what you are sharing. Otherwise, people will come throwing stones at you. But so far, I must say that well done. Hats off, like they said, hats off. At your age, you've done so well. You find that the people who are doing this real estate business in the past were like older than me even. And they never delivered for some reason. I think they were overambitious, and people are really now struggling. People are going to the courts and all that. I am personally a victim somewhere. I'm not going to say here because we are online. Yes, I'm a victim somewhere where, we've just had to send our documents. But here we are, somebody who is credible, somebody who is really delivering, and that is what we want to see. I can see people are here and they're saying, absolutely, Nyota Njema, it's a real deal. I can see Waithera Karaoke saying, good job, sir. She's proud of that young man there. Right. So where are we now? Go ahead, take it on and take us through. If you feel like you want to bring back that, that slide again, because I think it's absolutely wonderful, because through that you can show us some of the new areas where we are investing, show us the areas that have been sold out, show us the areas that you have, and then people can see for themselves.
Thank you very much. I must thank the viewers from wherever they are watching from. Thank you for the testimonials. Sometimes they make me emotional. And especially Bishop Vanessa, thank you very much for that confirmation. I'm smiling because I remember we met in Reading, and the first thing she told me, mimi sitaki kuona watu wa mashamba, nyinyi wote ni wezi. And now she's the one who is at least saying the good words. After we served her, she was able to come with her mom, who is 96 years.
Wow.
We went with her to Nanyuki, and I'm happy that after that, the blessings of that grandmom has really been on our side. And because of that, I believe that is why we are able to do our part. One thing I must tell you, ma'am, is that we don't strain ourselves in doing right. Because, when I say the right thing, I will not be fearing tomorrow I'll forget it. So we have always been able to create ourselves as a brand that is able to consistently speak what is true. Because when you speak the truth, you don't fear about tomorrow. If I speak the truth in Saudi today, I'll speak the same truth in Dubai tomorrow. I speak the same truth in Uganda the other day. So in the reality, I don't fear doing what is right, because I know it may be slow in making money, but it will be having a long-term impact in the society. It's through that last year I was also privileged to be elected democratically as a spokesperson of the real estate in Kenya. And that also shows how people in the country also have decided to trust in my capacity to represent them when advocating for real estate matters, be it with the government, be it when somebody is doing the wrong thing, we can be able to call it them off, because I believe evil prevail when good people do nothing. And it's through that formation of the association that we are able to stand and protect our investors, even from fraud and also from unhealthy government policies. So my future is, I believe we have not yet scratched our surface, and I believe the future is so much bigger than myself, and that is why, by God's grace, we are trying to create a long-term relationship with people like Mom here, Bishop, Akina Victor, I can see Victor Benson online, all the way from Bristol. All these people are who have believed in us, even before they saw what we could be able to do. So I believe when we continue doing the right thing, we'll attract the right people. But let me say this, ma'am, my mission will not be deterred. The theme of the company is writing up your investment work. So the sales comes as a second one. So I am here even today. I'll be sharing some tips on what people should be considering when investing back in Kenya. Because I believe when you're able to deliver on, when you're able to give people the right thing and also share insights, even if they don't invest with me, they'll not be conned by another person. They'll be able to ask questions. And therefore, I don't believe in only just selling. I believe in creating awareness, creating impact, and also helping people to understand what are these things that we have done wrong. I also have lost some money in real estate, not that I have not lost. And people don't know that you also lose money. I'll tell you, even as late as yesterday, I almost lost some huge amount of money. If I was to share here, people would be worried. But then this is because we are very quick to make rushing decisions. I tell people, take time to do your due diligence. That's why we give you 7 days to 14 days to do your due diligence on a company. But again, going forward, you also get to do due diligence on the property that you're investing in. Until you, especially those who are buying properties from individuals, be sure on the history of that property. This is a property we are being sold to. And then the person who was saying it even has gone through succession, only to realize that the person who was saying it was dead is still alive today. Wow. So how would you have known that if you don't do the due diligence? You'll be quick to give the deal, to get into the deal because it looks very quick. So I want to say it's good we light up your investment world. And therefore, ma'am, if you allow me, before I go to the where we are going as Nyotanjema, I can just share a few tips of what Kenyans can be able to look at when they are investing.
Thank you. Just before you continue, every time I host you, because I think we've hosted you maybe almost like 10 times now since you started. I've lost
Yes.
count. I was gonna say every time I host you, there's always something new that I learn. You can see that's why I always have my notebook, guys, and my pen. Because obviously this computer out here cannot record everything. I've just been working and I can always refer to the notes. And actually the notes I have here was sometimes last year, things that you did tell me, and looking back now, yes, if some of us had looked at the things that you taught us, we wouldn't have lost money. I mean, just a few minutes ago, Bishop was sharing with me an investment that goes over 20 years now, and he paid, and it is not small money. You can imagine over 20 years, and he paid over 3 million Kenya shillings, and he's still waiting. He hasn't actually today. He was on the phone with some of those people, and you saw them, they don't give a damn. They'll say that, okay, I don't have it, and you can wait. So really, this is very, very important that you take us through the process, and particularly for us in diaspora. I know this applies to everybody, whoever is investing, whoever is buying property, whatever you tell us, the tips that you give us apply to everybody. Now, here I am. I've got some small amounts of money and I want to invest. Could you take me through the processes? What do I need to do? What are the things to look out for? What are the do's and don'ts, so that people are enlightened? And guys, I can tell you for a fact, and I can tell you this for free, the information you are getting here, you pay money to go and listen. This young man here, you'd have to pay not less than 5,000 Kenya shillings to go and sit for 2 hours to be told what we are being told. And now we are getting it for free, guys. So why would I ever lose any more money? I said I'm a victim. I said Bishop here, my husband, was telling me today, and he was on the phone, over 20 years, an investment worth over 3 million Kenya shillings, and he still hasn't laid his hands. And when I say this, our children are here. I can see Reverend Naomi is here. Dr. James is here. They know that. But if we had known that, would we have lost that money? It's still not lost, yes, but you see how long it's taken. It's fluctuated. So, guys, let's sit back. Let's get tips of investments. And I'm so delighted to see so many of us, because we want to learn. And can I ask you kindly, when you join, share, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Beacon of Hope Beacon, so that every time we are here, you can always get a reminder. Please subscribe to Beacon of Hope Beacon. It's just free. Just subscribe and then share, so that somebody else will not fall into the same trap. Take it on now, and please take us through the steps. Take your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma'am. And again, as we always say, the good Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And I believe when we share the knowledge, it may not help only you who is watching here, but you can help a friend who may also have lost, or may be in the journey, or in the path of losing money. So the first thing, when you're investing in property in Kenya, it's good to know that we have 3 different types of properties. There are those properties already in title deed. There are those which are on a lease, on what we call a share certificate, and there are those which are in the succession level. So when you go to do a search on the same, they have different cards. Some are on green card, others on blue card, and others on the yellow card. So once you do the search, why we do the search is to verify whether the status that you have received the title about is the same status that you are able to get outside in the registry. So once you get that, it is also good to know the status also matters with the transferability, because when you are buying property, it is good to know that every property you are buying, the end goal should be transferred to your name. But again, there are some which cannot be transferred based on the certificate that they are holding. I want to start by a disclaimer, because in the last 1 year we have had so many issues. Remember, there was an issue in the Kirima land that was happening, and also there was an issue with the the river land that was also in the media. These are some of the instances that we have seen where Kenyans buy land without doing the right due diligence. So whenever you buy land which is on share certificate, it is good to know that you are buying a share of that company that is selling to you. You are not buying land as it has been said, because a share certificate cannot be transferable because it is not a legal document. That has been verified by even the cabinet secretary in charge of lands and housing. And I wanted to just put that as a disclaimer to start with. So whenever you are buying land, get to know the status of the certificate that it holds. If it holds a share certificate, it cannot be transferable. However, the owner can transfer that to a title deed, convert it to a title deed if that area the title deeds have been processed, and then transfer the title deed to you. A title deed, in most cases, is either in a freehold or a leasehold title. A freehold title is the one that you have 999 years since the point of processing, meaning that will never be expiring, because I don't think any of us will live for 999 years. However, there's another type of title which is called leasehold title. On leasehold title, a leasehold title exists for 99 years. And the beautiful thing to note about this leasehold title is to know that the leasehold title starts from the point the title was processed, or the time it was launched into the registry. So you may buy a land which was launched 50 years ago, and then it is on leasehold. So by the time you are buying it, it has already spent, or it has already a lifespan less than 50 years. Because if it had already said for 50 years since the time it was processed or launched, then it means it has only 49 years remaining. So again, that will not be a leasehold title, which is 99 years, because to you who is the second buyer, because the lease must go through the cycle of 99 years, and then it has to be renewed again. It's also good to note that leasehold titles, you pay some rates every year, and some of us don't know that. So therefore, sometimes you go to sell your land. By the time you are selling land which was on leasehold, if you are buying it for resale, you find that it has a lot of penalties and a lot of interest that have not been paid because of the rates which were owed to the county government or the national government, based on the municipal government, based on the area that it is. So that I thought is a good tip to share with us tonight.
Could you please clarify that again, because I think that's new to me, and I could be having some land on lease. And does it depend on where this piece of land is, or it's just everywhere? If as long as it's on leasehold, it incurs some charges.
I will state it this way,
please.
Okay, sorry for that. I think I lost you at some point, but I heard the question.
Did you? I'm sorry. I wanted you to clarify. You said lease. As long as the title deed is on lease, it incurs some annual charges. Is it the same everywhere? Is it the same amount wherever the property is? Could you clarify that, please?
I know most of us, if not all, have seen the county government tweeting adverts on TV saying the county government of Kiambu is giving a waiver on interest or penalties on rates, on land rates. But we don't take seriously what that means to us. If, for instance, you land in Kiambu and the area is not, the titles in that area are on leasehold, based on the mapping by the government, you actually supposed to pay some rates to the county. I know we had even some demonstrations last month because some counties have started doubling or tripling the rates because they know you must pay for it or else you lose your land. But it is also very paramount to note that most Kenyans don't even know that they're supposed to be paying for land rates. And if they know, we tend to forget. The land rates varies from different areas. There are some which are high, like in Nairobi, I know it's higher than Kiambu, and also based on the municipality or the area that the land is in. The only thing I want to clarify is that leasehold titles, once you have it as a leasehold, you are, from the word lease, it is actually like you have leased that land from the government of Kenya. So every year you need to be paying rent on it. That is the simplest terms I should clarify. The rent is usually maybe 1,000 or 1,500 or 1,900, But I remember like Kiambu was proposing to make it, I think, 7,000 per year. So if you don't pay that, and then you actually start getting penalties, it may accrue an interest plus a penalty of almost the same value of the land. So it is very good to note whenever you are buying land, check whether the rates have been paid if it is on leasehold. If it is on freehold, there is no responsibility, there is no liability. And all the land in Kenya, after it was handed over from the British Queen in 1963 to the President of the Republic of Kenya, then President Jomo Kenyatta, this was all given as freehold land. But because of the developments in different locations, the land has been demarcated based on the land rules and the regulations of the different areas. That land now, in some areas, it is on leasehold, in other areas, it's on freehold. I hope I'm explaining something that is quite ambiguous nowadays. I'm not a lawyer, but because of my interaction with this area of specialty, I think I can have some tips. But if you ask me some technical questions, I may not be able to answer all of them. So I'd ask my lawyer to address them, but ask them as they may come. What I cannot answer or not answer wrongly to impress you. I only say what I know and what I'm confident about.
Wow, that, and I'm actually urging my viewers, if you've got any questions or you'd like any clarification, please go ahead, put your questions on the screen, or you can private chat me. There are people who don't want them to, they don't want their names, which is okay. I'm not going to read out your name. So if you've got anything that you'd like to ask, you can private chat me there. It's there on the screen, and it's only I who will see it, or just ask the question here, because this is very, very important actually. And I can see Bogwariza is saying, this is very much important, free message to us in diaspora. I did not know it's paid. Yes, see, these things, we do not know them, and we are being enlightened. And I've told you, to be honest, for a fact, I think I should be charging you. I'm the one who should be charging you. To get this kind of information, you'd have to go for a seminar where you pay a lot of money. But here we are, Pamina's freely giving it to us. And not many of the realtors would want to share these freely, and then eventually we end up getting in trouble. And yet we want to invest. There's nothing else that we can do with the money that we get here. I mean, we would like to invest so that when that time comes and I'm going back home, I can comfortably go and relax in Nanyuki, have my holiday home there, Naivasha, Malindi, or wherever. And this information is very important. You don't want to invest. You've built your property, and then the next thing you go there, and the amount of fee that you're supposed to pay, and then you feel like, I would rather sell this property because you've not been paying your rates. So this is one important thing that I've written down. I did not know, or it wasn't clear to me. And I've heard, like you are saying, I hear on Kameme all the times, the land rates in Kiambu, those who have not, and I just wonder, whatever this is, does it mean any piece of land I've got, I have to pay? So now I know, and it is clear. Next, guys, once again, we want to welcome you. This is Beacon of Hope, our weekly program. And tonight we have a very, very special guest, and it's really enlightening us, we as people in the diaspora especially, because in our investment world, you know what Nyotanjema says, lighting up your investment world. And actually that is exactly what Paminas is doing to us. He's giving us tips. And right now we're looking at what to look out for, because he says he's been there in the industry and he's still learning every day, because he's interacting with these people. And so in the course of interacting with these people, he is learning a lot. Kindly, if you've got any questions, put it up there, or even inbox me privately, and then Paminas, you handle that question. Yes. So Paminas, once again, over to you. And I really want us to continue with this and give us the tips. That one was one that personally I've learned. I can see George Kenyati is saying hello to you. He says he's here. MJ Ken says, Paminas, do you have plans to assist in development of those parcels, or should I join? Should I join you and we start doing it? I think I did ask you that question. I told you to start thinking of developing our plot for us. Anyway, over to you, but you will be looking at the questions and then you can handle them as they come in. Please take it on. It's over to you now, Paminas.
Thank you very much. I must say hi to George Kenyati all the way from
Nottingham.
Area, Nottingham. the far almost to the northwest. Yes, and then also Maureen, thank you for watching from Saudi. Thank you for also investing with us. We are grateful that you could join us tonight. So the task I want to give everybody tonight is go and check the title that you have in your custody, whether it is on leasehold or on freehold. Then I may not be the one to do everything for you. I can give you a recommendation to some lawyers who can be able to help you straighten your documents so that you don't get yourself caught up in all these things. Then another thing is going forward, I want to also share, now I've shared about the leasehold and the freehold.
Before you leave that, there is a question somebody, Michael Boga, is asking, is it cheaper to buy on leasehold then? Or which is, so that you avoid, which is easier to buy on freehold or lease?
It's not cheap because most leasehold lands are in developed areas. So meaning the prices are already high. So, and I think all these things that we are saying is principally what is gazetted by the government. It is not Pamina's idea. So it's good as I asked. It doesn't mean that because the land is on leasehold, the Muthaiga land could be on leasehold. Actually, they are on leasehold, but you can imagine how much they cost. But those people who buy, the government also knows they have the capacity to pay their rates every year. So it's also a way of government source of revenue. If you remember the different sources of revenue, one of it was rates from lands that we usually have. But anyway, let me cut that and continue because I think most people are saying about commending the talk. I want to share other tips on now the land buying process. Once you know the land that you are investing in, whether it's on freehold or land or leasehold, and again you are verified it is having a title deed, you can proceed now to make proceed to do the other due diligence on the search to know who is the owner of the land, and also know the history of the land. Both leasehold and freehold usually get a historical search. You can be able to know how the land has exchanged hands, and that is one way of confirming the land's legitimacy. Let me bring something else. I said about that type of land, which was on succession. The issue of succession is very emotive because sometimes the succession could have started but didn't complete. So most of us get excited to buy land, succession land, including myself, which I know I'm not going to be harassed to pay the whole amount. But again, you ask yourself, what risk are you pushing yourself to it? Because if this family disagrees, are they able to pay back your investment that you have paid? Number two, if there was a lie that the administrator, the so-called administrator, conned the other family members, they still can be able to put a caveat on your land. So I think it's very good to let people understand that when you are buying land from succession, which is usually I think in yellow paper, in yellow card, it's good to know the stage it is and get a lawyer to help you demystify the stages. It includes even a letter from the chief. So have you even gotten to the chief to know whether the person selling that succession land is legit or somebody just took a brother's land and said, my brother died, even if the brother is alive. So those things are happening a lot in Kenya. So be careful on those ones. I'm not saying they are not legit lands. There could be legit lands because also we get offers to buy them, and when we verify they are right, they are some of the best lands to buy because you don't have pressure of paying the whole amount. It may take a whole year to pay for the amount, but again, that is a high risk. So now let me go to the process of doing due diligence on any title deed. Once you get a title deed or a share certificate or anything, a leasehold title, you can go and do a verification from the registry that is within that location. Nowadays, we have several registries. I think we have almost every county has a registry nowadays. I'm not sure about that, but I think almost every county has a registry. And those that don't have registries per county, in the region, there is a registry.
Now, so, I'm really sorry because I want when the information is still very fresh. I think that issue of succession is not very clear. People are asking, can you explain clearly what you mean by succession? Some of us are just assuming we know. Please, and it's good to be honest. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, my brother. Please, I want us to go step by step because if we don't finish, we can always come back tomorrow or another day. Succession, what does that mean?
I will not go to the details because, as I said, I don't want to use a technical term that will not be used, but I will use the language I understand.
Okay.
And I hope that will be very helpful. I break it to a layman's understanding. Succession is when maybe your father and your mother had some land and they died before sharing or actually handing over to the siblings or to the children. So in such a case, whether they died or they have not died, they want to share to you. There is a process that is guided by the law on how land matters can exchange hands from the initial owner to the new owner, who is the son or the daughter, or even any person, any relative that has been designated. So in such cases, I just explain what is majorly to know, because it is a wrong process that lawyers take through. Sometimes the chiefs say they can do it for you, but it is always good to have a legal perspective to aid in case of any conflict that may arise. So some people are not interested in the land they are being given by their parents. For instance, Michael could be living in the US or in the UK, and he is not interested in buying land, in getting a land they have been given by their mother in Koibatek. I use that as an example. I'm not saying that is where you come from. So he says, I would rather sell this land and buy another land in Nanyuki with Nyotanjema, because that is somewhere I would love to live. So in that case, the land was in your dad's name. It has not been transferred to your name, yet your dad has passed on. So what happens? It means that you have now to transfer it first from your dad to yourself. And you cannot transfer it when he is already dead or he's not there to transfer for you. So what you do, you go through a succession process, which, as I said, I can invite maybe in the next conversation, we can invite a succession lawyer or somebody we call a family lawyer to help us on that matter of succession. It's a whole topic which can take 2 hours. But for me, the only tips I was giving is if the process has not been complete, it is good to take care so that you don't get to burn your fingers if it doesn't get completed soon. Some succession cases take even 6 years, others take 4 years, others take 1 year, based on how easy the family is agreeing to the terms of the succession deed. I hope I have answered.
Well, I hope Michael has had, even for me, it's much clearer now. Right, we move on to the search and land ownership, the legitimacy. I think that is wow. Michael says something very new. And Maureen Francis says succession process of acquiring land necessary without even buying. Yeah. Maureen, that's what she says. And Michael says, thank you so much. Something very new that we have learned today. So the bit that most of us miss, just because someone tells me, Paminas comes and tells me, I've got this piece of land I'm selling. Most of us do not do that search of the ownership or the legitimacy. This is where the due diligence part comes in. Take us through that, please, as much as you can. Yes, Maureen says that the succession is like inheritance. Yes, that's what Pamina said. But mind you, we've put a disclaimer. I am a lawyer, yes, but I'm not a land lawyer. So we know it is like succession, but it like inheritance, but it's got some twists here and there. Right, over to you again. Let's go.
Thank you. So I promised next time you ask me to bring a lawyer, I'll give you a lawyer to do succession matters. Talk on the thing, so that members can also be able to get some tips on even some land that they were left for by their parents many years ago, and they don't know how to take it to take charge of the same. Now going to, at least assuming every factor remains constant, everything you have been told is good and has been done right. So the first place you'll add is the registry. You do a land search. A land search initially used to cost 500. Nowadays it's costing up to 1,500. Remember, the government proposed almost 2,500. I'm not sure whether that will be adopted, but it varies between that. You should know that the dollar rate is also very high, so the government is looking for money. Anyway, that's on a light note. So going forward, once you do the search, it's also good to go to the ground and verify the existence of that land. That is why, like Nyotanjema, we take you to site to go and verify whether the land we are selling to you is also on the ground. And for your information, you can imagine the way we went with a whole bus of 40 people. If that land was not in our name, the neighbors would have come there with pangas and saying, why are you intruding in somebody's land? In the same way, don't shy. If somebody is shy to take you to the site, that shows there are something they are hiding. But if they are genuinely owners of that land, they should allow you to go and see, because land is not like bread that itaoza kesho usiponunua. It can stay there for long, and that is why we tell even Kenyans in diaspora, if you feel you need to see the site before buying, send your relatives, send your friends, send your exes, send your classmates. Let them go and see it for you. But also remember, not all of them wish you well. So again, they may come and discourage you because they are feeling you are competing, or you're defeating them, or you're outshining them. So again, the person you said should be somebody you trust, that they can be able to give you an honest feedback without bias or prejudice. I hope that is a tip that can help people to go and do their diligence. Number 3, when you're on the ground, ask people on the ground, ask the neighbors, na hii shamba ni ya nani? Hawa Nyota Njema wanasema wanaoni hii shamba, waninunua lini? You know, hakuna watu wanajua mambo mingi kama watu wa ground. They know everything. The neighbors know everything. If you ask me about my neighbor, I can tell you a few things that you never get to hear from anybody who is an outsider. So that's also very important. That's when we go to site, we don't prevent people from interacting with the locals. Let them get to know whether what we are telling them is the genuine thing they're getting from the locals. And once that is satisfied, we now go to the documentation. And the first document that you should get, if you're buying land, okay, for us, we have an extra 2 documents, which are not mandatory, but it is good to note. For us, when you're buying land from us, we give you a form we call expression of interest form. It can be online, it can be physical. You feel to show us the interest that you are having in our properties. This expression of interest form helps us to be able to allocate you the plot that you have selected, to share a document we call a letter of offer. So the expression of interest form comes from you, and then the company shares with you an offer letter or a letter of offer showing what we are offering you to buy from us after you have expressed interest. Once that is done, you are supposed to sign the offer letter. Again, Kenyans, let me pause and say, please sign documents. They are not for just sending and verifying your files. They are for helping you to trace the process of purchase. I remember in a case, I will quote, it was in court and it was in public domain, of a certain company that was in the Four Ways and Gatabaki family. When it went to court, the court asked the owners of the land, did you have signed and executed sales agreement? But most of them did not have, and therefore the case could not continue in court because there was no evidence of buying land without a document. And therefore, after the offer letter, you send the offer letter back together with the money. If it is a deposit, the offer letter also shows the payment details, whether it's an account, M-Pesa pay bill, all that it shows there. You send the money back together with the offer letter. If it is cash, you just pay. After you have done your due diligence, as I said, the 7 days we usually give you. If it is installment, again, you pay your deposit. Then once you pay, our office or any office that is selling property should initiate the process of getting a sale agreement, which is a legal document originating from the lawyer. A sale agreement does not originate from our office. It originates from our advocate. Maybe the advocate has given us a template which can always be editing, but he has to verify that it is the right document before it is sent out to public, to the customer. The sale agreement is a binding document between during the process of transaction and even after the process of after the title deed is out. Because should there be a case that there is an existence of 2 title deeds, Kenya, there is always that kafia. Somebody may come with a duplicate title deed showing the same name, different name but the same plot. You can show, this is how I was able to buy my land. Nowadays, we are sending them on email. I don't believe Google is going to die soon. Therefore, it's my recommendation, have your documents backed up on email so that in case even there was fire and you lost everything, you can trace them from the email that you have stored your data in or the cloud. That said, once now you conclude the process of payment, we'll ask you for 3 documents which are required by the government of Kenya. We require your national ID or a passport. Initially, they were not allowing passports, but nowadays I think they're allowing passport as far as you are more than 18 years, and it can indicate that you are a real Kenyan, a passport by birth, a Kenyan by birth. Number two, you also require to send a KRA PIN. You cannot have a KRA PIN if you don't have an ID. Again, that also closes you. If you don't have a Kenyan ID, you cannot have a Kenyan PIN, that is a KRA PIN. But the last thing we also ask is a passport photo. And a passport photo, and in a digital era, you don't have to go to the booth where you used to go and take photos. You just take a passport photo on a white background, you share with us, we'll print it for you, and that's all that you need. Then there's the completion document that you should also be able to access if you are transferring the land for yourself. If you're transferring for you, you can ask for your copy. It's not a must, but you can ask for your copy because we'll do the process for you. I have a friend of mine from the UK who called me on Monday and he told me, Paminas, kuna shamba nimepewa na my dad and I was doing the transfer and I have realized that you people do a lot. Let me tell you, transferring land in Kenya is not a simple joke. And that's why we don't want to give it to the customers to do it for themselves because it's going to strain you. It's going to stress you. So we do it on your behalf. We take the stress. By the way, sometimes you may call me and I'm not able to pick your calls. Or if I pick, you'll hear my voice is not very welcoming because I'm stressed maybe by the process of the transfer. I'll give a good example. Last year in October, when you were supposed to process 200 titles for some Kenyans, then all of a sudden, the government instructed the registry that they must use ADISASA. Now, the ADISASA system, these people didn't even have a clue of how to use it. And they have been forced to use it. And my titles are there. And I promise Kenyans, your titles will be out by end of October. So nothing was happening for the whole month because they was, first of all, get to be trained on how to use the system. So again, if you are an individual going with one title deed there, you'll be so frustrated because they don't even care about you. So for us, why they care? Because they can see there are many. So they are able to get some facilitation, which is going to fast track the process. And that is how we are able to get the titles by end of November. And I think that is something we also need to do about the trends that are happening in our society and in our government processes. So having said that, the completion document include assigned executed land board consent, and then a transfer forms, which have the copies of the IDs and passport photos of the sellers of the land. And again, you also need to have a stamp duty receipt. Nowadays, you have to pay the stamp duty through the ADISASA system, which is attached to eCitizen. As you may be aware, Kenya, any government service is being paid through 222 pay bill number. So it's good to know that you cannot now be able to escape that process of paying as used to happen previously with some people. I think I have given enough processes if I was to be asked.
Wow. Can you see we are all quiet? Even I, who is a chatterbox, I went all quiet because like you can see the comments coming up. This is really informative. And guys, I did say to get such information, people would have to pay for it. And here we are getting it free of charge. Whether you've bought with Nyota Njema or not, he wants to safeguard our interests and particularly us in the diaspora. But then, the more reason why we should invest with Nyota Njema, because you're not going to strangers who do not understand the system, who do not understand the process. They are doing so much. And I'm glad that you've met people who are complaining that that is a very, very tedious process. I can imagine. I've never had to deal with it directly. But I know, like I've said, I know Bishop currently is dealing with that. And it's not the easiest. So really very, very informative. Guys, I did ask you if you've got any comments, any questions, please put that on the chat. And yes, I'm looking to see whether there is anything. They're only just commending you. They're saying very, very informative. I can see Daktari James is here. Faith Pinker says, thank you so much. May God bless you. It's not me. I've actually facilitated. We owe him. But ukitupa kakitu kwangu sawa sawa tu, ndio mimi nikukule. That's my neighbor, my sister Faith Pinker. Right. Now, would you like to put that? You had a very good document showing where you are at Nyota Njema. There's something I wanted you to tell people about Are you able to get it back?
Yes, let me put it back. First of all, share our quarterly. My team has been very nice nowadays. They are giving quarterly newsletters. So let me share with you.
Wow.
It's summarized for many of us. So I just share the. This was done by my team, so I give credit to them. So they decided we'll be updating our customers on what is happening in the country.
There we go.
We start with the Kenyan real estate, what was happening between Jan and March 2024. The CBK introduced some new regulations on crowdfunding. There was an announced development plan for industrial parks in different counties by the government. You just highlight some of the things that are happening. But again, there was this bill that was introduced that we should be paying 500 million to get a license fee for real estate companies, which we vehemently opposed. But anyway, because we told them if I can pay 500 million to put it in the bank, the government, I can also con people 5 billion and they not be able to take me anywhere because the government has my 500 million. I hope you understand the logic I'm using there. So these are some of the things that we are sharing with our customers. You can see the different updates, but it's good to know that we also had a Saudi Arabia trip. This is some of the photos, some of the people watching. I know you can see your photos there. I was taking the photos myself, so you can imagine I had to ask some people to do it. I did 3 presentations to the different groups, one at 6 to 8, another one 9 to around 11, another one between 11:30 and 2 a.m. So that's why you see there are different seating arrangements. Our success stories, as you can see, those Kenyans holding titles there, they are very happy. And we are happy to have lightened people's eyes with industry. As I said, we have rebranded from the old logo. This logo was internet founded. We have customized ours. Now, when you get that coffee mom, you realize it is very nice looking. The reasons for rebranding were 4 or 6. Number 1 was to redefine our experience. We have now tailored solutions for unique needs and ensuring that we have unparalleled support throughout. Our team is always on the clock, 24 hours for your information. Then we also to enhance our mobile app, which any who has invested with us should know. You can be able to check your statements with us, whether you invested 10 years or not 10 years, 4 years ago, or even yesterday. Once you buy with us, you can be able to access the app from Play Store or App Store for any phone that is on Android or iOS, and you're able to get to see your statements. If you want to book through the app, again, you can be able to book. If you want to pay through the app, you just push pay now, you get an SDK push telling you to put your M-Pesa number, PIN, and you're able to pay without asking us the account number. We have also been able to embrace change, equipping ourselves to better serve customers. And that is why we are trying to make sure that our brand is outstanding, but also building an outstanding brand to be able to uphold professionalism, trust, and reliability in the market. And then lastly, not lastly, but the second last is to have an enthusiastic team that knows where we are going and knows how to take us there, because alone I can only do too much, but together we can do too far. Then the final thing is celebrating our achievements. Again, this is our 5th year, and we hope that this year will be a game changer in the market, where everybody will say, indeed, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I know there are also very many companies which are delivering. I'm not saying we are the only ones, but we want to be outstanding in the midst of everybody else who is standing. So we also have a strategic plan. It's good to notify people. We don't just work blindly. We have a 5-year strategic plan, 2023-2027, and we have been reviewing it every year. We reviewed it last year. We have reviewed it this year. You can see me with the team here trying to do the review and some headaches to see how we are going to go there to ensure we give you customer experience. We also do team building. This is our team somewhere relaxing and doing some team building to ensure we are able to solidify our relationship amongst ourselves. So our projects are as for us now that they have come. Initially, we only had Nanyuki, as I said, but now you can see we have widened our range. We have Nanyuki, which is going for 299,000. I know maybe some people who are watching here bought them 3 years ago at 199,000 cash. So that tells you the brand has already appreciated with 100,000. And then for 3 to 6 months, you pay 325, and for 10 to 12 months, you pay 340. We also have Naivasha, which goes for 550,000. cash. Then this is 350 meters from the Naivasha Maimahi Road, just next to a PCA Academy. And then we have Kitengera, which is in Acacia area, and Diani, which is also 2.3 kilometers from Amani, from Tiwi Beach. So we are near the Amani Tiwi Resort, for those who know Diani. And the reason we're in Tiwi is more affordable as opposed to the Ukunda area, because Ukunda Tiwi, Diani side is already overpriced. Already the prices have gone high as opposed to the Tiwi area. But all of them have a beachfront, which is very clean. We have Juja Farm. This one is sold out, I'm told, but we are coming up with a new project which will start at 850, touching the main road. So I believe most of you can be able to get that. And again, we introduced Malindi to accommodate everybody. So this is Malindi in an area called Maleleni, going for 125,000 Kenya shillings for a plot of 50 by 100, and 150K for 3 months or 6 months, and 180,000 for 10 to 12 months. We also have Narumoro. Narumoro, due to public demand, people wanted somewhere near the mountain, and we got Narumoro, which is less than, actually it's on your way to the mountain as you go up, less than 100 meters from the tarmac. The same land is touching tarmac, but ours is the inner part of the land. That's why we say 100 meters. And we ensure all these lands we are selling to you are on freehold titles. Unless otherwise advised, all of them are on freehold titles, because we believe the investment projects and they're affordable in strategic location, and we are doing value add in those areas. We are hoping this year to start fencing all our lands as we sell them. And again, even the ones we had sold earlier, we want to see how we can partner with the owners to see whether we can fence them, because I believe it is the only way to secure your land. The rest thing we also do, we make sure we deliver the titles to where you are. If you're in Dubai, you're in Saudi, you're in UK, you're in the US, you're in Germany, we hope to deliver the title deeds to where you are. And as you can see, we also introduced Employee of the Month. So we have Employee of the Month in January was Maureen Kawera, and the Employee of the Month in February is Mark Felix Kagiri. So yeah, that is it. I think I have done a nutshell. These are testimonies from our customers. You can check them on our YouTube. They have been uploaded there for anybody across the world to see, so that those who have doubts can be able to see how we are able to deliver it. There's something coming up down here, coming soon. I'm avoiding to unleash because the name is there, but there's something called that name, Kikwetu. I'll be telling you more about it on the 6th of next month. I don't want to preempt it now.
Wow, wow, wow. Parminas, really? Wow. I am just overexcited, guys. Look,
Thank you.
I was trying to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 8 different projects within such a short time. I told you when Pamina started investing fast, he came to us. We met, I didn't even know him. He was introduced by a friend of a friend. And we started, and I think we also need to introduce the investor of the month. And we help all of them. We just give them a shout out, and obviously a promoter of the month. Here I am.
That is true.
Wow.
I should actually say there was a winner. In December we said anybody who is going to invest more than 200,000, you are getting an entry to a draw.
Mm-hmm.
And we got one young man. I don't remember the name. The first name is Gadeya. Gadeya. He invested in Nanyuki in 2 plots, and he got himself 1 free plot in Malindi, just as a gift. So we keep on our word. Whenever we give those offers, they are not for excitement.
Yeah.
And again, for the Valentine's, again, I should also put it clear. All those who invested 200K and above, they got a cashback of 5,000, which went to their account as a way of deducting their repayment. So again, it's just trying to give back, as we also entice our customers to feel happy when they're investing with us.
And sure enough, I can see you did say, and I can confirm now that you are outstanding among those who are standing. Yes, outstanding among those who are standing. Really, I am really, really excited. We started and we said you're a bit tired, and I was tired. I'd come from work. We're just going to host you for an hour. I think we're going to 1.5 hours now. We started at 5:30 here. Really, can I say, Paminas, I am very, very excited to see and for the information that you've shared with us here. You know, it's amazing, like most people say, and all the comments are just so positive. Just one thing that I noticed, you did say you had an idea, or you said you are in the process of thinking of whether we can start a Nyota Njema circle. Have you gone into that, or you are still trying to look at
The reason I said it will be launched on 6th, allow me to wait for the registration process.
Okay, leave it there. Leave it. All right.
But I should tell you about some of the
Pole
things.
sana Beto, Jagon, pole tutagoja. Yes, we are patient. We are very patient. We've come a long way. So we have to be patient and wait. So guys, unless you've got any other question, SK Shoba says, awesome. Maureen says, yeah, we are waiting. Unless you've got any other questions, I know it's a weekday. I know some people are just juggling between job and whatever because you needed to catch up. I really want to appreciate each one of you for joining. And can I once again ask you, please, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel so that even when we host Paminas or other people outside of this, you can always be informed. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Beacon of Hope Beacon, and you will not lack anything, you know, because we are always on the move. So I once again want to appreciate you. You've done wonderfully well, and I can assure you that yes, you are outstanding among those who are standing. There are so many who are standing, but you are outstanding. And I like that. There are so many notes I've been writing. That's why you saw me keep turning. I've written. I know I could always come back and listen, but sometimes there are things that you really want to scribble down and you want that to stick. I can see the same thing. Bishop here is very busy. He's been learning as well.
Thank you. Salimia sana.
Bishop umesalimiwa sana.
Mama, there's something I've just remembered. I didn't.
Go ahead.
You know, it's good to also tell people, once we give you the title deed, where do you take the titles?
We give them to our family to keep for us.
But if fire was to happen in that house,
please, God forbid.
What would happen? God forbid.
Advise
Let
us.
me just give an advice, which I thought would be good for you and also for your own safety. I would encourage if you can put them either in a simple deposit with a bank, so that you'll be paying, yes, maybe 1,000 per year or 2,000 or 5,000. I don't know how much they charge. But again, another way is charging that title with maybe 1,000 Kenya shillings. So that at any time when people are doing a search, if they want to steal from you, they always find the land is charged together with the bank. So nobody can be able to risk arguing with the bank on an issue of land. And in case that there was to go to the worst case and the land was stolen, you can be able to go back and tell the bank, why was the land stolen when I had a loan with you? Again, I just thought that's an advice. It's a passing advice. I don't want to make it compulsory, but I'm just helping people. And I think the best thing for people to know is that we would want everybody to feel secure from the point of buying to the point of finishing and enjoying your investment. So, as I always say, it's better safe than sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, thank you. Very good advice. To be honest, if we start thinking, Bishop, we need to think about our title deeds now. And I think in a bank, it's much, much safer, you know, because right now I think they are all over the place with children, with every, you know, unless you're taking a loan somewhere where you can secure it with whoever but I want you to look at ways and means of you being the right person to support us, because there is so much trust in you and your company and what you're doing. And tonight, once again, guys, I just want to wish Paminas and Nyota Njema Real Estates the best in whatever they are doing. Our best wishes. We'll be praying for you so that you just keep up with the same integrity. That word integrity came up and up and up and up. And Ruth says, Ruth was here. And actually today we were discussing the title deeds. Well done. That's the greatest advice. We appreciate that, Ruth. Kenny Wajiro says, thank you so much. So, really, Paminas, what was I saying about the title deeds? Yes. unless you've got other reasons. I mean, I think it's very, very secure in a bank. So watu wangu, asanteni sana. Pinka, I can see. Yes, Pinka has promised to come and buy me nyama choma. I don't know whether it will be ready-made or to thank me. She's really appreciative. Bishop Vanessa says, thank you, Paminas. Continue. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Keep it up.
Amen.
Florence Wajikomo Tongo says, I'm very grateful. God bless you, Paminas. I could read all the comments. You know, they are wonderful. People ask, and I can tell you, we are not that good. We are not just saying this to make you feel good. We are saying this because we've gone through a lot. Everybody here, if we were to share our testimonies, oh my God, you'd really be puzzled. So for people to come out openly, and these are not young kids, they're adults, people who are earning their own money, people who have lost millions, and here they are saying how grateful they are to have you on the platform. Really, it has taken the hand of God. So thank you, thank you. I can see Lucy Eddie is here. I can see Faith Pinka says I should ask for whatever and it will be delivered. It says that S. Shoba says PK or Paminas does a great job and all the best. So once again, everybody, I could go on and on because I am super excited to have hosted this program. And personally, I have learned a lot. So it's not in vain that I came from work and we did this. So once again, on behalf of all the viewers and those who will be viewing this or following this later after we have logged off, I want to thank you ever so much. Paminas Kariuki, CEO, Nyota Njema Rio Estates, wish you and your family and your staff all the best, and we can only get better. In Nyota Njema Rio Estates, continue lighting up the investment world, and we can only get better. Asante sana, jioni njema, pumzika sasa, na niseme.
Thank you. As I go, I need to leave you with a quote always. Remember, the best time to invest was 10 years ago. The other best time to invest is now. So that 10 years
again? The best time, I want people to listen.
The best time to invest was 10 years ago. The other best time is now. So that next 10 years, you'll not be saying, I wish I did it 10 years ago. Thank you.
Guys, you heard it all? Yes, your ears wide open, your notes, and the recording is still there. You can always come back and listen. And that is why I said kindly do share so that you disseminate this information. It's not for me, it's not for you. You disseminate because so many people need this information. I once again want to appreciate Paminas, the CEO, Nyota Njema Rio Estates, his wife, his family, and actually his staff for all the good work that they are doing for us, and particularly us in the diaspora. Want to thank you. I want to read a last comment. A first-time investor from Saudi, and I can't wait to receive my titles and continue investing with Nyota Njema. Yes, Brian, I can assure you that I don't have one title. And I've continued to invest because niliweka kidole kwanza nijaribu, and now I can invest as much as I can. Oh, there was a question from the private. Okay, I'll look at that later. So guys, we've come to the end of our show. And as usual, I mean, it comes to that time when you feel you don't want to go, but you have to go. So once again, thank you ever so much. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord do you good and continue lighting up our investment world because things can only get better and better. Kwaherini. God bless you. Thank you. We love you. Shalom, shalom. At Beacon of Hope, we hold discussions every week. I want our people to be empowered. I want our people to be enriched. And we talk to the young at heart, and our topics rotate around young people, finances.
We buy when the market is low, and we sell when the market is high. Simple.
Growing up in the diaspora.
As much as I am grateful the way that my parents raised me, my Shoshogo Kaz generation raised me, there are certain things I won't carry with me.
Politics, leadership, career, parenting, all sorts of discussions.
And I remember 2010 when you were standing, I was standing. You were standing on in Palawater.
If you want to invest, you invest in a developing area, not a developed area.
House prices right now, for example, I'll use that as an example, has now overtaken the amount that a normal person who's a normal worker, let's say 132K, can now afford.
Join me, your host, Counselor Dr. Elizabeth BK, from my living room to yours, on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, name it. Just join us, we'll be there, and you'll not miss out a topic that suits you. And each one of us has always got something to share, and Beacon of Hope is always here for you. We are open to all sorts of discussions as long as we are motivating, we are inspiring, we are teaching. All these discussions are there, and we'll be ready. So guys, the quote was, the best time to invest was 10 years ago. The best time to invest is now. What are you waiting for? To get in touch with Nyotanjema Real Estates, please do get in touch, and I'm going to connect you. Then you can deal with him direct. I'm sure he's coming back to UK soon, and he said he's going to Saudi. Barikiwe sana. Have a lovely evening. Have a good morning. Have a good night. Wherever you are. God bless you. Much love. Bye-bye.